Cherished viewers, welcome to Animal World, our co-inhabitants. Today we will travel to Australia. Famous as the whale watch capital of the world, Hervey Bay, located in the state of Queensland on Australia's east coast, is a natural haven for the large marine mammals. The sociable whales interact with casual whale watchers, conservationists and scientists in a friendly and playful manner.
Mysterious they are, these creatures of the deep, waving their wing-like pectoral fins as if calling to me. Too far into the past you be. No time to weep, no time to be. Insistent they are, these sirens of deep oceans, singing their soulful songs, enchanters of emotions, of love, of joy, of play, of dance.
Trish and Wally Franklin are the founders of the Australian non-profit organisation the Oceania Project, and the couple have devoted themselves wholeheartedly to the conservation and protection of whales, dolphins and the oceans. Let us now meet them to learn more about their endeavours.
The Oceania Project was formed in 1989, and we went on our first expedition in 1989. And then we've been going out to Hervey Bay ever since, and they're still doing it even this season.
Our major project has been the long-term study of the humpbacks in Hervey Bay, which is ongoing.
The number of Eastern Australian humpback whales found off the eastern coast of Australia was only about 100 in 1962 due to extensive hunting. Today, thanks to stringent protection measures, there are approximately 4,000 individuals that stay in these waters during certain parts of the year.
The other project we've been working on recently is telling the stories and translating them into short films and putting them on DVDs, and also recording the songs of the humpbacks. It's taken 2 years of production work to actually get 5 years of song and put it onto a CD.
And what inspired you to create this project?
Trish and I became interested in whales and dolphins in the mid-70s, when there was a very large push to introduce the moratorium on commercial whaling. As soon as we became interested and began reading about them, we realised that whales and dolphins were very special creatures. Whales and dolphins are the product of 50 million years of evolution. They exist in all oceans of the world. There's some 80-odd species of whales and dolphins, and they were evolved to their present form between 12 and 23 million years ago. And they are complex mammals like ourselves. They're oceanic mammals, and we're terrestrial mammals. They have large brains, they have complex societies, they have complex language. In many ways, we realise these creatures were the peoples of the sea and we're the peoples of the land.
Through diligent efforts, the Franklins have managed to document the life histories of nearly 600 individual humpback whales, many of whom they have come to know extremely well as they migrate annually up the east coast of Australia. The couple also gives names to the individual whales they track.
We take it upon ourselves to name the whales. As Trish said earlier, the whales don't know that. But Trish involves the people who come out and join us in that process at times. We try and use names that help us remember the individuals. But I remember one very special occasion. We had these two whales who came to the ship. It turned out to be a male and a female, and they were doing this wonderful dance around the ship. And Trish was standing at the side of the ship watching these whales as I was filming them, and she thought to herself, this couple should be called Bonnie and Clyde.
And I walked down to the stern of the vessel, and I just called out, what do you think, we should think about some names for these whales? And a woman shouted out, what about Bonnie and Clyde? And I thought, I can't believe this. You know, thought transference, or did the whales want to be called Bonnie and Clyde?
Floppy is another special whale the Franklins have encountered.
It's interesting to reinforce what Trish is saying, that she set out with a perspective of getting to know the whales as individuals, and that's one of the great joys of each year when we return to Hervey Bay. There's a whale that we met as a newborn calf in 1996, and he was named Floppy. Trish named him Floppy because he had this square, strange dorsal and it flopped over, and it was very distinctive. About 2 weeks later, we had a group of students from Byron Bay on board with us, and one of the young students was watching this calf and said, "Trish, we should call that calf Floppy." And Trish said, "Well, we can't, we've already called a whale Floppy." When Trish got home and looked at the photography, she realised that in fact it was Floppy.
After these important messages, the Franklins will share more about their amazing personal experiences with the humpback whales over the past 20 years. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to Animal World, Our Co-Inhabitants. Today's show features Trish and Wally Franklin, founders of the Oceania Project, a non-profit organisation that seeks to conserve the oceans and marine mammals, with their current project focusing on documenting the lives of the eastern Australian humpback whales present in Hervey Bay, which is on the eastern coast of Australia. Each year during the winter, the humpback whales migrate from Antarctica to the warm tropical waters for calving. They arrive in Hervey Bay in late July and remain there for almost 4 months, after which they begin their journey back south.
So the movement through Hervey Bay is really rich in experience for humans watching them, and rich for the whales, because the whales are this very safe bay. You've got mothers coming into Hervey Bay, and their calves normally are around about 2 months of age, because the biggest birthing month is in August. So by the time they get down from the lagoon and have taken the little calves through that very delicate stage, the calves are a bit more robust. Mothers can sometimes spend up to 3 weeks with their calf and interact, or choose not to interact and spend a lot of time with their calf. So I think there was about 7 mothers and 7 calves in one group last year, which was phenomenal. They were all around the ship, and it was just crack of dawn. We hadn't even up anchored. The calves obviously learning, because calves can communicate to the mothers and mothers to the calves. So you're getting this whole socialising aspect of mothers with calves.
Amiable, playful and inquisitive, some of the splendid humpback whales like to interact with humans.
That whale, Hodder, we saw her last year as a 6-year-old. She's got all the energy of a mother. She's got a strong presence, an amazing whale. And she came to one of the whale watch boats last year that had windows underwater and stuck her eye right up against it. And they filmed it, and because the whale watch operators in Hervey Bay we know this whale so well, they sent us the film of Hodder's eye staring through the thing. We hope that we have a lifelong relationship with this whale, because this whale clearly has formed a relationship with us. And those relationships are going to be what's going to make it possible for we humans and whales to live side by side into the future.
Perseverance is required to truly understand the whales.
I went into Hervey Bay basically wanting to get to know the whales. And I think that to do that, you have to be totally patient, incredibly patient, and consistent. I know that most of the time, for all these years, I've been standing up on the deck for about 10 hours a day with a camera in my hand, and just waiting for the actions or interactions of whales. And it takes that consistency and that dedication to get to know any other species.
Australia's waters are now home to 30 species of whales. Wally Franklin elaborates on the praiseworthy steps the Australian government has taken to safeguard the gentle beings.
The Australian government have taken a very strong stance. In the late 70s, the Australian government held an inquiry into the future of whaling, run by a man called Sir Sidney Frost, and the report was known as the Frost Report. And based on that report, the Australian government passed legislation to protect whales on the moral grounds that the community believed they should be protected. This was the first bit of legislation worldwide that was passed on moral rather than economic grounds. And since then, the Australian government have maintained a very strong stance against commercial whaling.
Australia has taken a leadership position as a member of the International Whaling Commission, a global body that put a moratorium on commercial whaling worldwide by the Commission's members in 1986.
They're also seeking to have the agenda of the International Whaling Commission brought into the modern world, where the focus of the organisation is about the care and conservation of whales and dolphins. And I've already mentioned the global status report on cetaceans that they've produced, and as well they are making commitments to spend money on non-lethal research. The point is that with the modern techniques that are available to us, such as photography and collection of skin that falls naturally off the whale's body, we can use DNA analysis. The Australian government is arguing, and rightly so, that we can answer any question we have about whales and dolphins using modern non-lethal techniques.
We respectfully salute the Australian government's noble and compassionate deeds to protect the whales. We also thank Trish and Wally Franklin for promoting the safety and welfare of humpback whales in the life-sustaining seas. Please join us again tomorrow for part 2 of Songs of the Sea, the Oceania Project, with Trish and Wally Franklin. Most caring viewers, we enjoyed your company today on Animal World, Our Co-Inhabitants. Coming up next is enlightening entertainment right after noteworthy news. May the provenance guide us all.
For more details, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/AW.